So you've probably heard the phrase, if you got it, a trucker brought it. And that's probably more true today than it's ever been in the past. Um, just starting with, say, your everyday cell phone, and I encourage you to do this with anything that you might have around you. The cell phone itself probably started this life in a mine. It was probably dug out, put onto a truck, taken to a refinery, turned into raw material, put onto another truck, taken to a place, turned into parts, which is then put on the truck, taken to another place to be put together, polished, packaged, to then be put on a truck, taken to a store, to where then you were able to purchase it and use your cell phone today. And this is pretty much true with just about everything that you have around you. This is why the trucking industry is called the bloodline of the economy. We are moving the tangible goods from point A to point B, and this and bring that to you and to the rest of the world so that it can build, create, and grow. And that is the world that I have been a part of for the past 10 years of my life. 10 years ago, I started off in Fort Worth. I was working 2 minimum wage jobs, and I wasn't really getting anywhere fast. So I got an opportunity to be trained as a truck driver. I got in the Greyhound, went to Missouri, and a month later I had a CDL, and I started my journey in my new career. Since then, I have been to 48 of the 50 states. I have driven through blizzards, sandstorms, hurricanes, tornadoes. You name it, I've gone through all of that. And just through tons of mishaps and adventures. And I've met hundreds of other people from around the world that came here to America to do the exact same thing, mainly to improve their life and, again, a little adventure. Right? So in the next few minutes, I'm hoping, through my experience and through the materials that I brought together, to communicate to you the importance of truck driving has in our everyday lives, along with its importance in social mobility, in bringing people that might have less to a higher class of living, and as well as the struggles that truck drivers face every day. So, why is truck driving important to us? The American Trucking Association, according to them, truck driving accounts for $940.8 billion of gross freight revenues. That's about 80.7% of our nation's freight last year alone. In addition, it is also 11.46 billion tons of freight. That is 72.6% total domestic tonnage. And that's how much we are shipping out every year to grocery stores, hospitals, your local gas station, to KVCC itself, pretty much everywhere. That's how much we are doing in our nation alone. As well as we employ 8.4 million people in the related trucking industry. So this is like warehouse, mechanics, the like, along with an additional 3.5 million truckers across our nation, from the local drivers that drive box trucks to over the road, like I did for about 9 years before I came local. And among those truck drivers, it is very diverse. I can account for that firsthand. My trainer, the guy that trained me, was from Poland. He grew up in Poland under the Soviet Union era. He came to America in the 90s, and he eventually got into truck driving to improve his family's quality of life. And I've met Ethiopians, Congolese, a lot of Eastern Europeans, Filipinos, Latinos, and just all over the world, people that want to come to America to build a better life. A lot of them go into trucking because it's a very fast track way in order to build their life. And it's also very well, as I said before, it's very diverse. And also, a lot of people are like me. I was working two minimum wage jobs going nowhere. So, a lot of people born in America, the truck driving, to go up that tax bracket, per se. All right. According to the American Immigration Council, 2.6 million of employees in the trucking industry are immigrants. Um, and many Americans in lower incomes driving to reach that next class level. And unfortunately, all of us do face common issues within the truck driving industry. Mainly starts with the government regulation hours. They were put in place for an important reason, and it was because truck drivers tended to go push themselves too much. We were staying up way too late, staying up days on end to keep moving freight. A lot of times I was pressured by corporations, and so the government set in regulations. I'm not going to go over those hours because they're ridiculous. But unfortunately, the unintended consequence is now we are actually forced to drive while we're tired because we just don't have the time to make it when we can. And this is compounded by when we go into a facility to pick up or drop off a load. We may be stuck there 4 hours while it's straight on our clock. And so we can't stop there. We have to, once we get that are loaded, we have to keep pressing forward. Even if we are tired, we have to keep going. And this leads to riskier behavior and a much more stressful lifestyle. Truck drivers are the leading causes for health issues is stress, anxiety, obesity, which leads to high blood pressure, tons of cardiovascular issues, and so on. And that's unfortunate. We want healthy truckers. We want healthy truckers in our industry because they keep our world going. Anyway, so that is my speech. I hope I covered, at least give you a little taste of why trucking is so important to our economy, why it's important for diversity and for social mobility, and also highlighted some of very few of the difficulties that truckers are facing. We need truckers. We go nowhere. We will backtrack as society without them. And thank you very much for listening to my speech.